Alright, so BCAAs. I've done a video already about protein, so I'm going to try and keep it more towards the amino acid side. So amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. We have non-essential amino acids that our body can synthesize itself, and we have essential amino acids that you have to get in through your diet. And within that, we have BCAAs. Those include leucine, isoleucine, and valine, and they just have a slightly different structure. They have a branched chain. I think when people think about amino acids, they immediately picture it as a supplement, but you have to remember that any kind of protein source that you eat, you are getting amino acids from. Amino acids as a whole are involved in muscle protein synthesis. They have two roles. Number one, they act as a substrate themselves for the building of new protein. So effectively, amino acids all join together at the ribosome. There are bonds that are formed between them, and that effectively builds a protein. And the second role that they do is they act as a signaling molecule to stimulate muscle protein synthesis in the first place. So any studies that were to look at muscle protein synthesis with whey protein or milk, there was particular interest around leucine. As I discussed in the previous video about whey protein stimulates muscle protein synthesis more than soy or casein. And that's because it has a much faster rate of leucine appearance compared to the others. So that led people to go, okay, maybe leucine is the thing that we need. So quite a few studies then tried to add leucine to a really, really small amount of whey protein. And they found that they could stimulate muscle protein synthesis as much as if you were to have 25 grams of whey protein. But as we talked about earlier, one of the key roles for an amino acid is to be a signaling molecule for muscle protein synthesis, and leucine seems to be the most important signaling molecule. Obviously, this started the hype that BCAAs were the way to go. We don't need this whole lot of whey protein, and we can get the same response from a more sort of purified version. But bear with me. So we've stimulated muscle protein synthesis. Great, okay. But because we haven't taken in any other amino acids, we don't have the building blocks to then go and build a protein. The only thing we've really managed to achieve is to activate it. That's especially the case for people that were to take BCAAs fasted. Now, that being said, on the whole, most people are not going to be fasted. That means that they are going to have amino acids sort of floating around the body that they can use. So this is when we think maybe it could have a benefit, although it's still probably suboptimal compared to whey protein or a complete meal. We also don't really want to keep amino acid levels chronically high. There's a point where we can't actually use amino acids anymore, and we need this refractory period before we can actually stimulate it again. So based on everything I've just said, these are my thoughts. There is nothing inherently wrong with taking BCAAs. Even looking at it from the point of view that if it tastes nice, you're probably going to increase your fluid intake. You'll know for a fact that you are getting in sufficient amounts of BCAAs by taking it. So the choice is really up to you. My role here is to give you the current literature, the current evidence, and you can make your own minds up. All I will say is prioritize getting in your daily protein requirements over and above anything.